When you look at the University of Alabama, and I know you do a lot of analysis behind the scenes, looking at numbers, using the eyeball to observe this game, where's the weakness at on this team? How do you attack Alabama if you're trying to design a way to attack this, either offense or defensive side of the football?
Well, I think that you have to start by throwing the ball and trying to throw the ball downfield. And I realize that's easier said than done because of the pass rush. I mean, you're going to get your block knocked off as a quarterback probably once or twice for every time that you're actually able to get a throw off downfield. But I do think that that's where Alabama has to be exploited if you're going to try. Now, if you look at the stats, I don't know what they are now. I know going into the Tennessee game, it was the most yards per pass attempt that Alabama has allowed in 10 seasons under Nick Saban. But that's obviously tempered by the fact that, one, they get so many sacks, and two, that pressure on the quarterback has also caused fumbles and interceptions that have led directly to the defense scoring touchdowns. And you'll take a few extra tenths of a yard per attempt if it means your defense is basically scoring one touchdown for every one that allows. And so you kind of have to roll the dice when you're playing Alabama and take some chances. And I think the big chance the teams have to take is to attempt to throw the ball downfield. If you can find a receiver who's got one-on-one coverage and put the ball up there, if you've got guys, and Texas A&M does, by the way, guys who can make a play, throw it up there, hope for a pass interference call, or hope that your guy can go up and make a catch in traffic against an Alabama DB who might not have completely turned around to find the ball yet. You got a much better chance of doing that than you do of one, running the ball, which is almost fruitless to even try against Alabama unless you have a quarterback who can run, and two, throwing short passes and hope they miss tackles, because this team is so fundamentally sound. And then they really have been for years. The issue was previously they didn't have enough speed at linebacker necessarily to combat these offenses that would get skilled guys into space. Now they do. They have that. They have that speed, and so that's the only way I see left to attack them is throwing the ball downfield.
Right now, do you have any doubt that this is the best team right now in college football that here in Tuscaloosa, or do you think the team from Columbus, Ohio, has a argument with that?
I think that right now it is because look, Ohio State before last weekend was playing really well defensively, and this is not to say that Alabama hasn't allowed some points too, because certainly they did against Ole Miss. They allowed some against Arkansas, although. You could argue that some of those came after the game was out of reach. Whereas Ohio State, before last weekend, had not really done that. But Wisconsin is not a very good offensive team. Now, what remains to be seen is whether Wisconsin during a bye week figured out some things. And this is a team that has a redshirt freshman quarterback, and so just like Jalen Hurts keeps getting better every week, you expect that Wisconsin's quarterback is going to keep getting better. And so maybe Wisconsin made some strides offensively, but without having benefit of knowing that, my guess is that Ohio State is a good defense, but not a great defense that they really had looked like going into that game. So, yeah, I would say that Alabama right now is the best team. But, look, there's not such a gap between Alabama and Ohio State, Michigan, Clemson, Washington, maybe throw Louisville in there. There's not such a big gap that if Alabama doesn't come out and play well, that they couldn't lose. And I think, look, that's probably true. I don't know if it's true for Saturday. We'll see. But I think it's probably true when they go to Baton Rouge in a couple of weeks. Is that Alabama is still going to have to play well because it's an LSU team that absolutely has not checked out on the season yet. They're still playing with a lot of intensity.